Hi, this is Terry Foster-Nallen with MAPS Coaching, and I'm coming to you today to talk with you about the recruiting appointment, growing our company. It's as simple as that. You know, here at MAPS Coaching, we believe that our agents are creative, resourceful, and whole. And through that, we believe that you need to be exposed to the models, systems, and tools that can help you not only grow your business, but grow you personally, to grow your market center. As a leadership coach, we focus on the growth initiative. We focus on the 4 conversations. And what better tool to use, not only with yourself and your team, your staff, but to use with your agent leadership council, to use in your team meetings, and better yet, with your agent leadership council to teach them one-on-one what their own 4 conversations looks like. Now, we know that the 4 conversations in the growth initiative are appointments, growth, the value wall, net, and of course, profit. And we know that our culture is profit. We've developed a culture inside of our company that lies around what we can do for you, for your agents, for the market center. So how can we relay that information back to not only our agents, but how could we use that in an appointment? This is just one thing that we've been talking about in coaching calls this past few weeks. How can we make that conversation stronger and better? How can we connect the dots? How can we bring the client to the end of every appointment and know that we have the right to ask them to join our company? Well, I'm going to outline for you a simple process that we've been working on this past week. And then, you might consider, how will that help you if you make your closing process better inside of each appointment? How will that affect your 4 conversations? We've watched what focusing on the growth initiative has done for us. We've watched what focusing on the 4 conversations daily not only does for you, but it does for your team, right? We know the results are there. So let's focus on what the appointment might want to look like. So this would be a general outline of what your recruiting and consulting appointment might look like. First we want a relationship built. Now, we don't want to spend too much of our time building relationships, or we're not getting it to the point where we can draw them to a close, but we do want to get to know them personally. This draws us into finding out about their big why. Why do they get up and go to work every day? Why have they come into the real estate business, right? So maybe build about 10 minutes around the appointment working on the relationship. Now let's get straight into what's important to them about their business, right? Let's talk to them about their goals. We've been challenging team leaders this past few weeks to create questions that you can ask in every appointment around the 4 MREA models, right? Gary Keller developed those 4 MREA models for us to use. Well, let's develop consulting questions just around those models. What better way to connect the dots than to utilize those 4 models, right? I'm sure you agree with that. I'm going to share one model that we use in coaching, and we learned this at Coaching Skills Camp. We call it the GROW model. So in the appointment, when you're asking questions and scuba diving into what are their goals, we're going to develop questions around the GROW model, which is G. That's their goals. And then we're going to move towards R. What is their reality? Where are they really? What are they doing? And then we're going to talk about what obstacles they may have in their way, roadblocks, obstacles, objections, whatever you want to call that. And then the W is going to be the will or way. How are they going to get there? How determined are they? What are they doing right now to get there? I have a challenge for you right now. I want you to develop 5 questions in each of those areas around the MREA models to determine, how am I going to find out more about their goals? Because when we find out about their goals, we're going to find out what their gap is in their business, right? You know the model. How do we get from where we are to where we want to be? What is their gap? And I want you to focus on the gap being one thing, not a bunch of things. We're not telling and selling. We just need to find one gap. Their gap may be in their database, right? It could be they don't have a lead generation model. It could be they don't have enough people in their database that they have on a consistent 33 touch program and they're converting at a 12-to-2 ratio. That one gap may help you discover the way that you can take them to a solution. And here is where we tie in who we are. We tie them to a solution. So if we find out that their gap is in their lead generation model, we tie them back into the lead generation model of MREA, right? We have them do the math. We ask them to get the calculator out. We help lead them through what their model could look like if they had the right number of people in place. What if they had that one change? What if they changed one thing? Their database. That's it. Now, the solution, of course, is providing the program. So now we want to, quite frankly, close them to the program first. Don't close them to the company. Close them to the program first. What might a question like that look like? So we've come to a solution today that if we changed one thing, and that would be your database model, by adding 200 more people to your database, we can improve your results by so many units, calculated into so many dollars for your commission. Wouldn't you agree that that would be a great step for you to take, and it would get you towards some of those goals we talked about with your family earlier? Great. So we talk a little bit more about that. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being this looks like the perfect model for me, where would you rank yourself? 1 being it's not a good model for me. Then you take them into the, as Diana Kokoska says, always be closing, right? A mega agent doesn't walk into a listing appointment and say, here's my card. If you need my help, let me know. We don't coach our agents to go out and get listings right there, right? So now we've got something to close them to. We have a solution, one solution. We found their gap. We can fix it. And we want to make certain that in every appointment we have, we've been able to go through this process enough to walk out of that appointment and know that we've asked them to join the company. We didn't assume, we didn't close them to the next appointment first, and that could be our actionable item, but we asked them to join our team. Now, this is just an example of what we coach to in MAPS coaching. And you can get more of this. Ask us for that. Tell us what your solutions are, because it ties us right back into how do we help you gross the number of agents and affect the net so that your culture of profit is high. We care about you. We want you to trust us. And we believe that this company will help create you being resourceful and whole in our relationships. So try this process today, right? Close every appointment. Thank you for joining me with this MAPS coaching moment.